Hello, 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 New Haven, and welcome back to Arts Respond on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. I am so happy to be back with you. We took like a little 2 or 3 week hiatus in my job at the Arts Council. I've been teaching high school students, and they are a blessing and a joy. They are also a lot of work. So we took a little break from this, and I am so excited to be coming in hot with artist Ricardo Gutierrez, who we are talking to about an upcoming exhibition, Through My Eyes, which is opening next week in New Haven, but who we will also be talking to about his career, which spans multiple countries and continents. And I would say, like, Ricardo, also like maybe multiple planes of existence. Is that fair?
I don't know. But yes, I'm very grateful for Connecticut, because Connecticut made me grew up more as an artist, and to be honest, to me, Connecticut is home since day one.
Mm, mm. And I was so excited because we talk to a lot of artists on this show, but they rarely come to us like with their work in the background. And you're in your studio, which is in your home. I think a lot of artists in New Haven have home studios because space is constantly an issue for them. And so you're joining us from your studio, and I want to hop in the Wayback Machine, as we do sometimes on this show, and talk about your origin story as an artist. And just a quick little note that if you hear something that sounds like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre around me, it's because the neighbors are mowing the lawn. I've been told that people can't hear this, but it's very much in my ear. So community radio at its best, y'all. So Ricardo, take us back to, you're still a very young artist, but take us back to when you were like, I don't know, this big, like little baby Ricardo, and
Baby
your
Ricardo.
first, yeah,
Yeah.
your first sparks.
So okay, when I was like 4 years old, and I even remember the I used to love drawing. I I used to draw all the time. I remember that my mom, the teacher in school, they used to say to my mom, "Hey, no, he doesn't want to do his homework. He doesn't want to work what I'm teaching him. He just want to draw." And I had a lot of issues with my mom about it. And but after that, I my grandma, she told me that something very beautiful. She said, "You have a gift, and your gift are your hands, because you can create, you can build, you can draw, and that beautiful mind and that creative that you have is a God gift that give you to you." And those words still in my mind, and it helped me to grow more as an artist and even as a person, as a human being. And I love it. I love art. My dad is an artist too. So it's weird that my dad, he didn't want me to be an artist. It's weird that because he's an artist, he wanted me to be an engineer. But to me, my soul, my heart was on art. And yeah, since I was a little baby, I love art.
And I will say you grew up in Colombia, and that is very alive in your work. And so I'm wondering if you can talk about those influences.
Yes, for example, my last collection, Uraba, was more inspired by the region in Colombia. This region is very multicultural. I grew up with uh, all kind of human beings. I mean, all races, or belief systems, uh, and the beautiful of Uraba is that everyone is um, is friendly with everyone. We don't have too much races over there, because we're mixed, all of us. I have so many mixes on me. I'm indigenous, I'm black, I'm white, I'm everything. And make me very proud to to was born in that specific part in Colombia. And yes, Urabá is very has a lot of is very selvatic. I don't know if that makes sense. A lot of jungle, jungles and rivers and mountains. And I'm very into plate tectonics and all the transformation of our planet. And we are located in like three plate tectonics. So that means the Urava Earth move a little bit over there. And yeah, and it's beautiful. It's very warm. We have two oceans, the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and it's very rich. We have fruit. We have a. It's a beautiful place to visit, whatever. And you saw all of that in on my paintings. You saw the samba, the black woman with the bananas in her head. That's very, very uh, I don't know if you know the Uraba export bananas to Europe and sometimes I think to the United States. And uh, a lot of animals, a lot of hummingbirds and flowers and fruits, a lot of fruits.
I will say, have you always been, because one of the things that stood out to me, so there was an exhibition of your works in Oroba in September, I think September 2021 in North Haven, above like a butcher shop, I thought, which is just, I'm constantly thinking about how because we don't have that many like arts institutions with space, artists
Mhm.
get creative and they find spaces to show their work. And so I loved that. I loved that you walk up a flight of stairs and into the space and you were completely transported. But one of the things that really stayed with me was how you are clearly very moved by nature, and you, I think, also find it really peaceful. And so I'm wondering if that's something that has always been a theme in your work.
Can you repeat it, the last thing again, please?
Yeah, definitely. So I was very moved by the sort of like the significance of nature in the show. So not just like, and yes, there were also people, but like animals and flowers and these close looks at um, things that are like parts of our world that are being destroyed. And so I'm wondering, has that always been really a big part of your work?
Yes, yes, and I'm very nature touch my heart. Since was a little baby, I remember that I used to play with little things, with little rocks, with little pieces of wood, with little, and I used to admire the texture of those little things that our mother gave us for free, and that those textures, those little things, it makes me like create things in my mind and using those colors that you saw in Nuraba, very bright colors. And uh, because when I was very little, I grew up very close to the sea and very close to the jungle. So I was in between sea, jungles, rivers. So seeing that at young age, it keeps all the time in your mind. And how you mentioned before, I have been in other countries and other cities, and the the differences of those other places is the nature. I saw that, for example, plants here are very different plants over there. The pollen here is different the pollen over there, flowers and even animals. And uh, these kind of things, yeah, blow my mind, and I wanted to show to everyone because Uraba was very dangerous. Had I mentioned before, it was very dangerous. The Colombia have that issue with drugs. Colombia used to export a lot of drugs, and they used to use Uraba, that area, because the location of Urabá is very tentative for them. It's very easier for them to export drugs to Central America, North America, and even Europe. And Urabá in Colombia, people they used to think that it was a dangerous place. When I used to mention to other people in Colombia, other Colombians, says, "Oh, I'm from Urabá." "Oh my God, you're from there? That's so dangerous. How you alive?" And oh my God, that's a beautiful place. What are you talking about? But yes, Urabá was very dangerous, and I wanted to show that to people. Even when I was in college, my thesis was about Urabá, and I wanted to show people through a, a, a graphic design and visual design through my art, the Urabá is more than a dangerous place. It's a beautiful place. It's a virgin place. We have virgin beaches. The rivers are beautiful, are like clear water, and that inspires me to create the entire Urabá. And also, you remember the in every single piece you saw the molas that was inspired by the indigenous from Urabá. That's my interpretation of molas from the indigenous of Urabá.
And I should just say for listeners who maybe were not blessed to see this show or are not familiar with Ricardo's work, molas are, in your work, they were sort of modeled after the really ornate, very bright and tightly woven textiles for which Indigenous folks are known in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And you, as an artist, put your own spin on that, which I think is really cool. So one of the things you said at the beginning of the show, maybe we were off mic, but was that to you, like Connecticut feels like home, that New Haven feels like home, which I'm so happy to hear as someone who is also, I'm not from New Haven, but New Haven is my home and I love it. So you originally moved to New Jersey in 2016 to work with a graphic design firm, but you ended up here and you chose to stay. So
Yes,
yeah.
it's very funny because a lot of people they say, "How you like Connecticut? How?" And I love it. I don't know if in my second life, my first life, I don't know, in my life before I was from here, but I feel a connection with Connecticut. And I call Connecticut home. And since day one, I remember I think I said this to you when we were talking about William Lanson and the sky of Connecticut when I came the first time to New Haven to see my apartment in downtown. I saw the sky and wow, the sky is so blue. It's beautiful. That was a beautiful day. I remember it was a summer. It was starting the summer of 2016, and uh, I saw the blue. I saw so many art around the downtown, and then I saw the Connecticut places, the car place, and they were like the same color of the sky. And wow, this is beautiful. And blue is one of my favorite colors. So that's why also I use the same blue that I saw that day for William Lansom's portrait.
And I should say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, and New Haven, especially New Haven, makes me feel very welcome. And is New Haven to me is very multicultural, and that reminds me Urabá.
I think it is. I think Connecticut is not that multicultural. It's very white, but parts of it are very white. But when you're in the cities, not just New Haven, but shout out to Bridgeport, shout out to I almost said Harvard, to Hartford, and to Waterbury, which has its struggles, but I think yes, there is a multiculturalism and also a pride in like representing a breadth of the diaspora or multiple diasporas that comes in Connecticut. Yeah, I mean, Connecticut cities are where it's at. If you live in like the quiet corner, I'm sorry. I hope it's nice for you. Um, so, so I do want to talk about this portrait of William Lanson as part of your journey in New Haven. And then let's talk about this upcoming exhibition. But I actually see the two as sort of two moving parts of a bigger whole, which is the story of Ricardo's work in New Haven. And so hopefully people are lucky enough to see this portrait of William Lanson that you have done at the New Haven Museum. And I'm wondering if you can tell listeners a little bit about that and also about the journey that Lanson sort of led you on from Beyond the Grave as you were researching his life and his work.
Yes. So William Lamson, I love this portrait. This project started after Urawa, the office of New Haven site project. They contacted me. They wanted to work in a mural, and they wanted to have different artists to work in a mural in an abandoned building here in New Haven. I don't remember very well where is located the building, but they wanted to do that over there. I don't know what happened with the project, but I never did a mural. But this lady, Laura, I don't know how
Laura
to say
Clark, yep.
Laura Clark, she gave me all the information to know a little bit more William Lamson. And I was reading and I fell in love with his story. And because I'm very visual, I have to see the face of William Lamson. If I want to create something, I have to see his face. So I went right away to my computer to look for some uh, for images about William Lamson, for something that give me like something to create something about him. And I didn't find anything visuals, anything, no photos, no nothing. The only visual thing that I found was the statue that they have of Yale of William Lamson, and I went there. I went to the statue. I took some pictures, and I said, "Okay, there's no any portrait about William Lamson. Ricardo, you can create one." And I said that to myself. And yes, I went, I took pictures, and then I started like working and doing the sketches about which colors should I use because I didn't know how dark was him. And yes, I started all this process. And Marta, Marta, she was like, "What are you doing?" And I just let me finish this project, and I'll show you later. So when I showed her the portrait already finished, she was like, "Wow, Ricardo, we have to show this. We have to talk with the museum because we saw the museum, they were doing something about William Lamson and we had the portrait." So when we talked to the museum, they were so happy and they said, "Yes, Ricardo, yes, we want it." And we decided to donate a portrait to the museum.
So I do want to bring it into the present. And first of all, if you're just joining us here on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, welcome. We're so happy that you've decided to spend some time with us here. This is Arts Respond. I'm your host, Lucy Gellman, and today I am here with Ricardo Gutierrez. He is a Colombian-born, New Haven-based artist who will be hosting the exhibition Through My Eyes at Olive in Worcester next week on Thursday, May 18th, starting at 6 p.m. And that's what we're going to talk about now. So, Ricardo, I feel like we're both busy humans, and I feel like it's this thing where sometimes I see artists in passing at events, but I don't really get a chance to talk to them until they're presenting a new body of work. And so since you sort of installed the Lanson piece at the New Haven Museum, you and I really haven't had the chance to sit down. And then a couple weeks ago, you emailed me and said, "Hey, I'm doing this new exhibition. And I want to hear about what Through My Eyes is all about, how your perspective on your work has changed, because I think certainly every series for an artist marks an evolution or a transformation in some way. And then, of course, how it is to work with Olive and Worcester and have this show sort of in very, very central New Haven, Worcester Square.
Yes, through my eyes, uh, first of all, this collection is very, very different than what you saw before. This is totally different. You want to see another face of Ricardo, and it's very. I use like bright colors, and I would say that this exhibition is more expressionist. It's more my self-expression. Uh, yeah, how I said before, this exhibition talk about the mental health, the connection of human being with the universe. Because since the pandemic, I think a lot of people they start like getting traumas because of that, and I saw a little bit the humans change a little bit. So this exhibition talk about all of this and how I said that before, the every human being on earth has been a victim of the human belief system, and uh, that cause traumas, depressions, and keep us in that black hole. And it didn't let it, being in the black hole don't let us see the beautiful of life, the beauty of the universe, the beauty of breathe. Because I am one of those persons who enjoy every single detail of life. Because I used to be in that black hole. That's why I'm talking about this, because I used to be in that. I used to be blind. I was unhappy. I was depressed. I was, um, yes, I was like pleasing people, living my life for others, forgetting myself. Uh, After Urava, I was sitting down in my bed, and I was like, no, I have to make a change in my life. I want to be happy. What was the point? Having this life and not be happy. And and yeah, so I took action. I started knowing myself. So knowing myself, it was born Uraba, this art exhibition. And I saw that yes, this is my mission in the world. I transmit this beautiful vibe, this beautiful energy through my painting. And yes, people test me. Sometimes people there, oh my God, Ricardo, I had a conversation with you and you made me realize that I have to change these things. Oh, Ricardo, you inspired me. Oh, Ricardo, so beautiful stuff that makes me grew up more as a human being and make me feel good, and it feels like you are doing something good for the people around you. So through my eyes talk about all of that, about human transformation. So you will see the one of the I have a four paintings. There is a woman, all those four paintings, and her skin, I made it in colors, oranges and yellows, like simulating like lava. You know, the inside our planet there's lava, and the lava that force inside our planet can move the plate tectonics, and that's how our planet transform, right? So the same thing, I wanted to simulate that, and this woman skin showing the transformation of human beings. And yes, I learned about all of this, and uh, I think, uh, and I learned also that every human being, each of us, have the power to change our life. We have that power. They just need to make a decision. Once you make the decision, you're gonna start seeing changes in your life, positive stuff in your life, and you can see even your path clear, and everything start making more sense in life. And also, I think everyone can find their own mission on Earth, which I never thought that every person have a mission on Earth, but right now, yes, every single person have a mission on Earth, and the way to find that is taking action, make the decision that you want to work on yourself, and knowing yourself very well and loving yourself very well. Because if you don't love yourself, who's gonna love you, right? And your mom, right? But but yes, I'm a very lonely person. I like to spend time alone, and being alone makes me think about all those things, and makes me research about a little bit about those things, and I love it, and I saw a lot of changes in my life, and I want to share that through my paintings with other people.
I, okay, there's so much that you just said that I want to unpack and draw out the threads and talk about. But one of them, and one of the first things that you said, is you set a boundary. What I'm hearing is you set a boundary where you said, I'm going to stop living for other people and start living for me. And I think that's really hard, especially for artists who, I think for a lot of artists, there's this question of like, whom am I responsible to? Do I owe my work to the community? Who, like, do I need to make work for someone specifically, or some group of folks specifically? And so I want to know for you how you set that boundary. And then also, you mentioned really being on a journey to self-love, and that makes me so happy. And I also want to hear about it, because I see a lot of sort of like anger and fear and self-loathing within some artists who I talk to. And I hate that. I want to be like, no, you're an amazing artist, you're a badass human being, you're all of these things. And so what I'm hearing from you is a very different Ricardo than maybe who I talked to in 2021. And it sounds really beautiful. So I would like to hear how you got to that place.
Sure. I'm gay, so being gay in a Catholic country, being gay in a Catholic family is very hard, very very hard. I feel like I was something strange, because that's the way that people make me feel, in school, on the street, and even, how do I say, my family, because they very believe in Catholic things, and they don't allow someone in their family to have those kind of uh, to be different, to say that, because they make me feel like that way, being different. Growing up like that, and listening other kids telling me no things, uh, at that age I was a little depressed, and but I found, this is something very nice. I found a book that my mom used to have. The name of the book is Without Stress, Sin Estrés in Spanish. And at 7 years old, when I started reading, I started reading that book, just because I was like, okay, I'm very stressed out for what people say to me. I just wanna don't think about those things. Let's read this. So I started like practicing the steps of meditation, and I started meditating at that age, at 7 years old, 7, 8. I'm not sure. And uh, I was meditating my entire life, but I didn't know that I was meditating, and that helps me to create like a bubble, and don't let anyone to hurt me with all the things that they used to say to me. even my family. And yes, actually, I wanted to say that one of the best advice that I can give to every person is meditate. Meditate. Meditation helps. Meditation change my view of life, and it helped me as a little kid to be alive and to be good in this entire life. Because yes, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of cultures, other countries, and being when you are yourself, because I used to be other person. I used to be the son that my dad wanted, the son that my mom wanted, the the nephew that my family wanted, and I didn't be myself. And I have the opportunity when I was in college to visit other countries, to visit other cultures, and that makes me realize that I have to be me. People love when you are yourself. People love when they see the truth. People love that. And even that my family have that strong belief system, when they saw me, when they saw the real Ricardo, because I will say that I was acting all the time. I was being other person to make other people happy, pleasing other people. When they even when my family saw that part of me, the real Ricardo, they were like, "Oh wow, we were wrong. We were doing something not good to this person." And yes, right now they are very proud of me. And yeah, they just, oh my God, you are a beautiful person. You are you. Now we can see you, and that makes me very very happy.
I I love that. And I do think in some families, my sibling is non-binary, and I think in some families there are often folks who have a certain like belief system, and then when that belief system is challenged within their own family, hopefully they interrogate their own beliefs and sort of where those beliefs were coming from in the first place. And so the first part of that made me like it made my heart really heavy to hear that you experienced that. But the second part, that your family just recognize how just incredible and talented and just what a beautiful soul you are, on top of being like a banging artist, is great. And so I do also want to ask about the role of matriarchs in your work and women in your work, because this is something that I saw a little bit in Uruba. And then as you were describing the woman and sort of her moving skin, I want to hear more about that. It sounds so elemental. Yeah, jump in.
I So my family, there was a lot of women in my family, and my cousin. I used to spend a lot of time with a cousin, the woman cousin girls, and the in Colombia is very machismo. If that word makes sense to you, machismo, because women, I used to see how men used to take advantage of women over there. Woman, they so before, woman wasn't in the same level of men, and knowing all these girls from my family, my friend girls, and be seeing that they are very smart, they're beautiful, they can do even better things than men, and we can do everything. But I mean, is women have the same capacity of a man. So, and that I admire that, because In our religion, they say, oh, woman is here and man is here, right? And no, to me, we are the same. We are the same. And I admire women a lot. And because I saw in Colombia a lot of women suffering because of for a lot of things. And I was like, no, this is not fair to them. So we have to be the same. They have eyes, they have nose, they have mouth like us, they have a brain like us. Why men treat women differently? You know? And that's why I'm always like drawing woman. The shape of the woman I think is beautiful too. And even my best friend is a woman, and is a very powerful woman. I love that, and I support her on everything. And learning about women, you guys are very strong, very, very, very strong, because uh, some of my girlfriends, they have been passed through for a lot of things that probably a man cannot handle it, you know? And even having a baby, that's something very, very powerful of woman. And that's why I admire women, I admire the feminists, I admire all of that. And I feel a little, I feel identified with women, because the same thing, gay people, men, they don't treat us well. They think they, oh, because he's gay, he's gonna jump on me and he gonna, no, no, I don't wanna do that. And yes, and also I have a cousin. Her name is Marcela. She is black, dark skin, and even my family, they used to bullying her, and I used to see that, and no, this is not nice. And Marcela, she inspires me to create a lot of draws. Actually, I have two characters. They I will show you later. Two characters that was inspired by her. And to me, she's beautiful. She's a strong woman. She inspired me, Marcela, and I love her so much, because my other cousins, because Marcela, her hair is different than my other cousins, so they used to bully her about her hair. And I know, Marcela, your hair is beautiful, and I just defend her, because it wasn't even I didn't I didn't understand why even family do that to a member of a family, you know. And also when I used to go to church with my family, and the the father, the person on top of that, um, they used to say that gays are not good and all those things. So, and I was asking myself why I was born this way. And yes, I no, I just relate that my gay life with woman, because we both have been treated no good in the society.
So I want to, well, I was going to say it's changing gears, but it's not really changing gears because it's about this new exhibition. How are you feeling first of all, how long did this body of work take you? Because I think sometimes people don't there's something where when you talk to people who are not artists,
Mhm.
they something doesn't compute with the fact that artists put so much labor into their work. And this is something that you and I have talked about, because you are among many, many artists who have to hustle, right, to make ends meet. Like, people, I think, have this image of artists as I don't know, independently wealthy white men who are chilling in their penthouses or something like that. And actually, artists are often scraping by, working multiple jobs because they love what they do. But then someone will stand in front of a painting and say, oh, I won't pay X amount, fill in the blank for that, because they don't understand how much labor has gone into it. So Tell me also about the labor, like the physical labor and the emotional labor and the time that went into this body of work.
So this collection started when I was in front of the first canvas. I really, I, s- I said to myself, I want to create something different than Urava. I want to show a little bit more of myself on this new exhibition, new collection of paintings. Because Urava, I was talking more about, yeah, Urava, the place, the culture over there. And this one is a little more deep because it talks about a little experiences in my life. And I start, okay, when I'm painting, I like to listen piano music, and that makes me like bring my feelings out. And I start painting, and the first composition that I did, I was like, oh, this is it. This is gonna be my next exhibition. And I'm so excited for you to see it because it's so different. And do you remember Sebastian, my friend?
Yes.
He was all the time saying, "Hey, Ricardo, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to be more yourself. Like put on those colors, put on in those canvases. You, I want you to be reflect on those canvases." And yeah, so I started doing some exercises, and actually, I brought that painting to the one that I first like the first that I paint. I brought it to Guildford Art, Guildford League Arts, something like that, and they were having an art exhibition, and I put my painting there, and they loved it. They said, "Oh my God, Ricardo, this is nice." And but also I'm still using the molas because I think molas are a part of me. And yeah, so creating all of these, making new things, putting the color of different forms, and creating new shapes, because you know the last exhibition you saw a lot of frames, and it was very square. This one have more planet shapes, more circular shapes, and yeah, and a lot of eyes. You want to see a lot of eyes over there.
Amazing. So well, I was going to say I have two last questions, and the first is just, how are you feeling as we come up on the eve? It's sort of like the eve of the exhibition, which opens Thursday, May 18th at 6 p.m. at Olive and Worcester. If you don't know where that is, it's at 87 Union Street in New Haven. And I will say, just personally, when you emailed me about this, I thought, okay, I have feelings about the amount of new development going up in New Haven. They're not always good feelings, but I thought, okay, if they are supporting Ricardo's work, that makes me feel a little bit different. So, and a little bit good. But how are you feeling on the eve of this opening?
I'm excited. I'm just excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to be there and show everything to you guys, because I I have been working on this exhibition like 6 months, and yeah, it took me 6 months to create all of this. And yes, I can't wait to show everything. I'm very, very, very excited. I am very positive because this is something new. Even when I saw everything all put together, I was surprised of myself. I was even proud of myself. I was, wow, this is something that I didn't know that I can do, right? And I showed some pictures of my dad. My dad, he was so happy. He was, oh my God, that is amazing. Actually, we are talking to do an exhibition together in the future. And and yes, no, I can wait. Olive and Wooster have been supporting me. I know Melissa. Melissa, she loved my art. She loved everything that I do, and she the way that she talk about me makes me proud. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. They when I went there, because I was looking for a place to do it, and most of the places in New Haven, first of all, we have a little places to make our exhibition. Second of all, my art shows are kind of big, and I wanted a bigger place to do it. And I went to Olive and Wooster, and no, actually, I text them, and they told me, "No, we know you, Ricardo. I know you, and yes, I would love to talk about it and come to the office. Let's talk about it." So I went with Martha, and no, they were happy. We were happy, and they were, yes, they just wanted to work with us.
And my last question is, how do you as an artist, so this show grew out of sort of like artists whose world was just totally turned on its head during COVID. And we're still like the pandemic is still with us. I don't want to say it's over. I don't agree with Joe Biden. It's not over. But we're in a different place. How do you practice self-care? And you talked about this a little bit, but how do you make sure that you're taking care of Ricardo as well?
How meditating, meditating, meditating is my cure. Meditating is my medicine. Meditating take cares of me, because once I finish one meditation, I can see very clear Ricardo Gutierrez, who Ricardo Gutierrez is, where Ricardo Gutierrez is gonna go, what Ricardo Gutierrez is gonna make or create. Meditating, I think, is the tool, and is the connection with me, and with the universe. And once you have that connection, and you are uh, working every day, that connection becomes more strong. And yes, I think, yeah, probably I want to have like sad moments, but those sad moments is not going to stop me, or probably I can make mistakes in future. But I love mistakes, because I learn from mistakes. I love having mistakes, and if I can make all the mistakes I can, I want to learn from them. So my view of life right now is very different. So uh, I think Ricardo is taking care of himself very, very well.
Good. Well, I thank you so much for joining us today. And I just want to remind folks, if you're just joining us, you've missed a great discussion. Please go back and listen to it on all of the socials. This is Arts Respond on WNHHLP 103.5 FM. And shout out to Harry Droz, who I have forgotten to thank in the last couple episodes. So Harry, I'm really, really sorry. Harry, for those who don't know, is the man behind the magic. He literally makes the radio station run. And without him, I don't know, like our hair would be on fire or something. So Harry, thank you for all you do. We love and appreciate you. Ricardo, thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you next week. If you're interested in seeing Through My Eyes, and if you're not, you should be. It is opening next Thursday night, May 18th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at Olive and Wooster. That's at 87 Union Street in New Haven. And we will share a poster for the exhibition with this podcast and Facebook Live and all the things as well. So thank you. And New Haveners and folks beyond New Haven, have a beautiful weekend. The sun is out, and I hope you have a chance to enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.